Hello everyone, my name is Alexis and welcome to class today. Make sure you have 2 yoga blocks nearby or a block-like object. And we're going to begin in a seated position on your mat. So just pick your position and we're going to start with a mudra. If you're not familiar with mudras, they're simply hand gestures. So bring your palms face up in front of you and cross the right arm over the left and link thumbs. You're basically making a butterfly shape with your hands. This is known as the eagle seal or the eagle lock mudra. And we're working with this today because the theme of the class is looking at what conditions do you need to flourish. A perfect example of this idea is the houseplant. Most common houseplants are tropical plants. They come from tropical rainforests, live closer to the equator, have hotter and more humid environments than what most households that have houseplants actually exist in. And so part of our job as a plant owner is to create the conditions that those plants need to flourish. So we need to find the right soil, we need to find the right amount of water and how often to water. Some plants like their leaves to be spritzed. Some plants need fertilizer, some plants want a lot of light and some don't, but every plant is unique in what they need to thrive. And I'm sure you can tell where I'm going with this analogy. Each of us is also unique in the conditions that we need to thrive. And so in today's class, we're going to be working through different poses that will echo the chakras. If you're not familiar with the chakras, they are spinning discs of light that light up along our spine. There are 7 of them, starting at our tailbone and working all the way up to the top of our head. If you want more information, you can check out the PDF I've linked below in the description box. But for now, just join me on the ride as we explore these 7 different energy centers and the 7 different categories and spaces in our lives that we can examine to figure out what conditions we need to invite in or to let go of to flourish in our lives. And coming back to our mudra, to Eagle Seal is about discipline. This is what will help us channel energy to come to our yoga practice every day, to maybe eat a little healthier every day, maybe meditate or get better sleep. The things that we need to flourish can be hard to provide for ourselves, but holding this mudra can help us find the self-discipline we need to bring those things into our lives, not out of force, not out of pressure, but simply because we want to feel good. Additionally, we're going to be working with a mantra throughout this class. So as you're sitting here, holding Eagle Seal, breathe in and out through the nose and repeat after me. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. It's a pretty simple mantra, but it can be challenging. It can be hard to take care of our own needs. In some ways, it's easier to take care of other people, pets, children, plants even. If you've done yoga with me for a while, you know that I always film these videos surrounded by plants. And part of that is intentional. I always feel so inspired by their ability to thrive in conditions that I can provide for them. So throughout today's class, we're going to be using the chakras as a tool to examine the conditions that we need to provide ourselves to thrive in life, just like we provide conditions and situations for our plants, our children, and our pets to thrive as well. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. Feel your hands in the mudra, stretching your fingers out wide. And repeat that mantra to yourself a couple more times. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. Let yourself rest here in this moment as we prepare to move into our first chakra. Release your hands, open your eyes, and we're going to begin in tabletop pose. So set yourself up for success. Like I always say, stack your hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists, suction your belly button back to your spine, and begin to breathe in and out through cat-cow. So beginning to move your spine, maybe rock forward and back if that feels good. Match your movement to your breath. And like I said, we're beginning in the root chakra. The root chakra is our basic needs. It's structure, it's stability, it's safety, it's our ability to feed and water and clothe and nourish ourselves. It's shelter and it's sleep. Continue moving through your cat-cow. And from here, we're going to step the right foot forward into a low lunge. And this is where you're going to want to grab your blocks or your block-like objects. Bring the blocks in their tallest setting so they're underneath your shoulders. Let your hips fall towards the mat, but press into the blocks to lengthen up through your spine. And then maybe rock side to side here in your low lunge. On your next inhale, press back into half split, attempting to straighten that right leg. It's totally okay if it's bent, but you're attempting to straighten that right leg, and your hips are back on top of your left knee. Flex that right foot, get a nice stretch, and then relax the chin towards the chest and towards the knee. Beautiful. Inhale forward, back into low lunge. Move the blocks, just set them aside for now, and step the right foot back. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Step the left foot forward into your low lunge. Grab your blocks. Bring the blocks underneath your shoulders. Let your hips sink forward. Make sure your left knee is directly over that left ankle. And rock side to side here. Feel the firm foundation of your feet and your calf in the mat. Feel the floor beneath you, its sturdiness and steadiness. Press back into half split, bringing the hips directly over that right knee and attempting to straighten that left leg. And like I said, if your leg is still bent, totally fine. We just want to get a really nice stretch in the hamstring, behind the knee, and in the calf. And you're welcome to sway side to side here as well, and relax the forehead towards the knees. Inhale forward back into your low lunge, set the blocks aside, and step the right foot forward to meet the left, coming into your forward fold. And just sway side to side here, nice and gently. The root chakra is a very nourishing chakra. It's where we take care of our base needs. So we're being gentle here with ourselves. Heel toe the feet wide as the mat. Toes out, heels in, and sink down into your Malasana squat. I love to do Malasana squat with a block underneath my bum, and if you are a little higher than me, that is totally fine as well. Meet yourself where you are at, because wherever you are at, Malasana is one of the most grounding positions in all of yoga. If you feel stable, you can bring that right hand down to the mat by your foot and lift the left arm up to open up in the chest. Like I said, we're kind of being inspired by plants and the chakras, so plants root down so that they can thrive and grow tall. Go ahead and switch sides. Bring that left hand down to the mat, past your foot. Open up the right arm to the ceiling. So as you're in your Malasana, reaching your arms up, imagine there's roots coming out from your feet. Bring your hands back to center. Bring the hands in front of you, press through the feet and lift your hips back up into forward fold. tucking the chin into the chest, and then planting the hands and step back into downward facing dog. Just walk it out here, bending one knee and then the other. Breathe nice and deep. And we're going to transition from the root chakra into the sacral chakra. Go ahead and inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Open up the hips. Try and stack the right hip on top of the left. Maybe bend the knee. And then exhale that right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower the left knee down to the mat, coming into your lizard pose. Now you can stay here. You have a couple options in lizard. You can stay here with the left knee down on the mat. You can bring blocks underneath your hands, or you can lift the left knee off the mat. Wherever you are, we're just going to inhale to look up to the ceiling and exhale, lower your torso down to the mat. Inhaling to look up, exhaling to lower down, sort of like a cat-cow here in our lizard. Now, you might not move as much as I am. If you need blocks under your hands, grab them. You're just kind of feeling it out, adding a bit of fluidity. The sacral chakra is about fluidity, passion, creativity, inspiration. The element is water, which is the most perfect example of what the sacral chakra is. It's our ability to flow and move through life and our emotions with ease and grace. If you want to come down onto your arms in your lizard pose, you're welcome to. Maybe sway side to side. And then, optional, you can press your arms up, bend that left knee, and reach the right arm back to grab the foot, coming into a nice quad stretch. This is entirely optional, and if it doesn't suit you today, that's fine. Wherever you are, breathe. Feel the fluidity and the opening in this pose. Exhale the right arm back to the mat, the left foot back to the mat, and press back into downward facing dog. Walk it out, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bending through one knee and then the other. And then on your next inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky and open up the hip. Try and stack the left hip on top of the right, maybe bend the knee. And it's okay if you don't get your hips as open as mine. Just go within your range of motion, meet yourself where you're at. And then exhale that left knee towards the face, plant the left foot to the outside of the left hand, coming into your lizard again. And of course, like I said before, you have options. You can keep that back right knee either lifted or lowered, and you can bring blocks underneath the hands if you would like. Rock the hips gently side to side. Find a little fluidity here. Sometimes finding fluidity can help us stretch deeper into certain poses. And then from here, we're going to begin those cat-cows. Inhaling to look up to the sky, exhaling to lower down. Inhale, lift up, exhale, lower. Imagine you're moving through water, navigating like a river through a canyon. Beautiful. One more. Very nice. And then from here, you have a couple of options. You can lower yourself down onto your elbows. You can stay up on your hands and rock side to side. We want to keep a little bit of movement here in our lizard. And breathe nice and deep wherever you end up. The sacral chakra is very much focused on our emotions and our emotional body, our ability to feel things and acknowledge our feelings. If you would like to, come up onto your hands and reach the left arm behind you, bending the right knee to grab the foot. Totally optional, only do it if it feels good today. So often we can find our creativity and our emotions stifled. It's seen as frowned upon to actually feel things and be an emotional person, but we are all emotional beings. Tapping into our emotions helps us live fuller lives. Release the quad stretch if you are doing it, and wherever you are, lower the hand, lower the foot, and press back into downward facing dog, and walk it out when you get there. And then go ahead and lower the knees to the mat, and we're coming into a wide knee child's pose. So let your knees open up, relax your chest between the thighs, And then on your inhale, you're going to rock forward onto the hands, lowering the hips towards the mat onto your knees. And then exhale back into child's pose. Inhale forward into what we call hanging cobra, lifting the feet. Exhale back, child's pose. Inhale forward, lower the hips, almost like an up dog. Exhale back, child's pose. Just a couple more. Hanging cobra is a beautiful way to open up through the pelvis, through the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra rests just below our belly button. If you have a uterus, that is basically where the sacral chakra rests. It's our ability to create and flow with life's challenges. Inhale yourself up to tabletop pose, and we're coming into our next series. This is for the solar plexus, just underneath the ribs above the belly button. This is the seat of your power. So we're coming into a supported plank. So on your knees, rock yourself forward so your shoulders are over your hands. Use your belly button to lift your internal organs back to your spine and lengthen your tailbone down to the mat. Supported plank should still feel challenging, even if you can do a full plank. Should still be pressing through the hands into the mat, engaging the core. Now you can stay in supported plank. If you want to, you can come up into full plank, reaching the feet back, curling the toes under, creating one long line of energy from the top of your head all the way down to your heels. And then wherever you are, we're just going to bring our knee to the opposite elbow, right knee to left elbow and back, left knee to right elbow and back. Keep going just like that. And then we're going to come into a side plank. You can come into a supported side plank by bringing the right knee down to the mat, coming onto the left hand, or you can come into a full plank on the right side like I am. Full side plank. And we're just going to hold here. Lift the hips up to the ceiling. And then switch. You can come into full plank on the left side, left hand down on the left edge of the left foot, or you can always bring that left knee down to the mat for supported plank. Hold it, press the hips up to the ceiling, breathe nice and deep. If you're still holding a full plank through all this, kudos to you. Lower the knees down to the mat, lower the torso all the way down to the mat, and we're going to come into Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders. And we're moving from the solar plexus, which is our will and our fire and our ability to get shit done, like I always say, to our heart chakra, which of course, as you can imagine, is located in the heart, the area of the heart, near our sternum, our ribs. And this is our ability to love. This is the seat of our relationships, our ability to love and be loved in return. The heart chakra is also the fulcrum chakra. It connects the lower chakras, which are about more physical needs, with our upper three chakras, which are a little bit more esoteric. So as you're here in your Sphinx pose, shine the heart forward. Imagine the shoulder blades can meet behind your back. Lengthen through the legs. Beautiful. And then lower yourself down, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press the tops of the feet into the mat so the kneecaps lift, and then on your next inhale, lift up into baby cobra and lower down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And the thing here is you're not pushing into your hands so much as you're using your back muscles to lift and lower. I like to challenge myself sometimes and not use my hands at all. Go ahead and do a couple more little kind of like cat-cow cobra lifts. And then lower yourself down, bring your hands wider than the mat, and push yourself up into full cobra. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale, push into the hands, lift up into full cobra. Exhale, lower down. These cobras are bigger. You're stretching more of the front side of your body, but still moving with your breath. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Beautiful. On this next lift, inhale and lower down. This time, with your forehead down on the mat, reach the hands back behind you, palms facing down. On your next breath in, lift the shoulders off the mat. And then, if you would like to move on, lift the legs off the mat. And if you're feeling really good, lift the arms off the mat. And you've arrived in your locust posture. This is a beautiful heart opener. And if you want to move along, if you feel like you can, we're going to come into bow pose. So you'll bend your knees, flex the feet, and reach the hands back behind you to grab your ankles. And then kick the ankles into the hands to really open up across your chest. So often we can feel constricted in our heart. We feel like we can't fully love or let ourselves be loved. Heart openers help that. Release everything back to the mat. Bring the hands under the shoulders and press yourself back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walk the feet to meet the hands into your forward fold. Bend the knees and roll yourself up into a standing Tadasana position. Bring the hands either by your side or to heart center. So far in class, we worked with the root chakra, the seat of our basic needs, our ability to feel safe and secure. We worked with the solar plexus, the place of our emotions, our creativity, our passion, our ability to flow and move through life with ease. We then moved up to the solar plexus, right beneath the ribs, which is the seat of our will. The element here is fire. It's our power. It's our drive and our discipline. And then finally, we moved up to the heart chakra, the seat of our relationships and our ability to love and let ourselves be loved. Within these areas, there will always be something that we could change. As you stand here with your hands over your heart or resting by your side, first come back to that mantra. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. And then think for a moment, is there something I can do in any of those 4 areas we just discussed that would help me flourish? Is there something I can do to create a little more stability in my life? Could I work on my sleep or how I eat? Could I drink more water? Could I move more in a way that feels good? Can I engage my creativity? Can I get to know my inner child a little more? Is there anything that needs my power? Is there anything that I really need to light a fire under my ass to get done? And is there anyone that needs love? Or is there anyone who is trying to love me that I'm not letting in? How can I work on my ability to trust? These are just some examples, and if you aren't familiar with the chakras, maybe play with those examples as we stand here for the next moment. If you are familiar with the chakras, think on what is something you can add to your life that will help you thrive. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose. And if you can't think of anything, just come back to that mantra. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. Beautiful. We're going to come now with a focus on the throat chakra via goddess pose. So bring your feet wide on the mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Make sure the toes are facing out, heels are in. Exhale, come into your goddess pose and your lion's breath. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, stick your tongue out, open your eyes wide, and breathe out. Stand up, deep breath in. Exhale, stick the tongue out, eyes open wide. Inhale up. Exhale into goddess, lion's breath. Continue just like that. A couple more times. Deep breaths in and out. Exhale. And on your next exhale into goddess, breathe out one more lion's breath and then just rest your hands, palms facing up on your thighs. Our throat chakra, of course, is where we communicate, and it's also our ability to listen. Lion's breath is a great way to tap into that energy. Come on up out of goddess, walk yourself to the middle of your mat, facing the front of your mat, and we're going to transfer the weight of ourselves into our right foot and lift the left knee up. Bring the hands out into cactus. We're moving on to our third eye now. You can stay in what's known as dancing Shiva, or you can twist to the left, keeping your hands in cactus. Our third eye is basically our North Star. It's our intuition and our knowing. Relax the left foot down, transfer your weight to the left foot, and inhale the right leg up. Flexing the right foot. Balance always helps when you find one point to focus on. You can stay here in dancing Shiva or twist to the right if that feels good. Wherever you are, find one point to focus on. We call this our drishti point. It's basically a North Star that helps you orient and stabilize yourself so you can balance. And the third eye provides that for us as well. Relax everything down to the mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into downward facing dog. Walk it out just a little bit, bending one knee and then the other. Our third eye is also the space of our dreams and our hopes. Go ahead and move yourself into a child's pose with the knees apart or together, whatever is most comfortable. And breathe here. So often when we dream, we find it hard to picture those as a reality. So if there's a dream that you have while you're here in your child's pose, take a couple moments and imagine what your life would be like if that dream was a reality. And it doesn't need to be a big dream. It could be a small dream, like having a new shirt, getting to try a new yoga class, getting to read a specific book. Up to you. On your next breath in, walk your hands back so you're sitting up nice and tall. Bring your knees together and we're going to come into baby camel. So come up to standing on your knees. Bring the hands behind you to your low back, fingers facing down like you're going to slide them into back pockets. And then just bend backwards, very gentle. Lift up and out of the hips, bend back. Your shoulder blades are kissing behind you, just again like we did in our heart openers. And then come back up to straight. Inhale the arms up overhead and exhale. We're going to come into rabbit pose. Bring the very top of your head down to the mat, reaching the hands behind you. This is kind of a funky pose, but it's a great way to engage the crown chakra, which is where we are now. The crown chakra is where we connect to universal consciousness, God, goddess, the universe, whatever greater power you believe in, or inner divinity if you don't believe in a greater power. Inhale, come up, lift the arms up overhead, and exhale your hands to your heart. Beautiful. Widen the knees and settle yourself back down into another child's pose. The crown chakra is our reminder that we belong to something greater than ourselves. It's our ability to place ourselves in a greater universe and to know that we belong ultimately. From your wide leg child's pose, take one more deep breath in and rock forward into your hanging cobra once more. And exhale back. We're just going to move through a couple more hanging cobras. Inhaling forward, dropping the hips, exhaling back. And if you want in your hanging cobras, when you exhale forward, you can do lion's breath, sticking the tongue out, eyes opening wide on your exhale. You might make a sound with your breath. Go ahead and sit yourself back onto your heels, swing the feet forward and around, and come to lie down on your back. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, hands resting by your sides. Shimmy the shoulders, away from your ears and close your eyes. We've arrived in the most important position of all, Shavasana. We've done a lot of work, working through all of the chakras. Since our middle of the class check-in, we worked with our throat chakra with lion's breath, our center of communication, our ability to talk and listen, both, and our ability to understand and speak truth. We connected to our third eye, the seat of our intuition, our dreams, our visions for what we want our life to look like. And we connected to our crown chakra, the consciousness and subconscious that reminds us that we are a part of something greater than ourselves, that we belong to a greater divinity that we are all connected to. And that allows us to tap into our spiritual bliss selves, the truest part of who we are that is inherently bliss. Relax in your Shavasana. Breathe deeply, but you don't need to pay attention to how you're breathing, how it feels, anything like that. Relax in your body, relax in your breath. This is your body and your mind and your heart's chance to percolate and process and digest all of the work that we just went through in this class. It was a lot of work, so allow yourself to rest here. And if you find that your brain is going a little hog wild up there, you're welcome to come back to the mantra that we worked with at the beginning of class. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. If you were repeating the mantra to yourself, go ahead and release it now. And begin to make motions with your body to bring yourself back into the physical space. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Make circles with the wrists and the ankles. Maybe bend the knees into your chest or reach the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Whatever you need to do to come back gently into your body. And when you've arrived back in your body, press yourself up into a seated position. This could be the same as what you started class with or something different. Just make sure it's comfortable and you can sit with a tall spine. We're going to come into that mudra again, eagle lock. But this time I want you to bring the left hand over the right and link the thumbs that way. Now the reason I picked eagle lock, eagle seal for this class is eagle seal is about self-discipline. Whenever we want to add things in, maybe a new habit or a new outlook, or even a new perspective on a limiting belief or some negative self-talk, it does require self-discipline. We truly do have the ability to change the stories that we tell ourselves. We have the ability neurologically to rewire our brains. Ingrained habits do not have to be ingrained forever. I like to describe the brain as a series of highways and back roads and gravel pathways. Brushing your teeth is probably a highway or a freeway. It's well trafficked because you do it every day. But maybe something like feeling you deserve love. That might be a gravel road with a lot of potholes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have the ability to turn that gravel road into a freeway. Just as we ourselves have the ability to create the perfect conditions so that our houseplants can flourish, root down into good soil, eat good fertilizer, drink good water, and feel the gentle mist on their leaves, we can do the same for ourselves. And it begins by creating habits, and those habits come from self-discipline, which is why we worked with Eagle Seal today. If you ever feel like you just can't quite keep a goal or add a habit that you want, next time you meditate, or even just next time you sit down, bring your hands into Eagle Lock, close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths, and allow yourself to focus on the habit you want to create in your life. Let's come back to that mantra that we worked with throughout class. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. I take care of my needs. We ultimately have the final say in what conditions we need to flourish. We also have the final say in creating those conditions. We can get ourselves out of negative situations. We can invite in positive situations. Our ability to thrive and flourish and feel good in our lives is within our grasp. There are a lot of avenues for that. Sometimes that involves therapy, medication. Sometimes it involves something like a gratitude practice. Sometimes it involves drinking more water. It's unique to each of us. But there are resources available to create those conditions that allow us to flourish. We simply have to be willing to seek them out. Take one last deep breath in and out through your nose here in Eagle Seal. When you are ready, you can release your hands back to the mat or back to your lap. Duck the chin into your chest and gently blink open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. There is more yoga coming your way every Thursday, and next month is Beginner's Month. I'm so excited to bring these new beginner classes to you. Until next time, have a lovely rest of your day. Bye for now.